3 weeks before our wedding, I received a video that completely exposed my fiancé's lies about her abusive past. I canceled the wedding, lost the deposits, and walked away from a life built on deception. She said her ex was abusive, then I got sent a video of her being shared by his soccer team. I called off the wedding instantly. I'm writing this from my apartment where I live alone after calling off my wedding 3 weeks before the ceremony. My ex-fiancé is calling me cruel, heartless, a victim blamer. Her friends are attacking me on social media. Her family is threatening to sue me for wedding costs. But I saw the video. I know the truth. And I made the right choice walking away. Her name is Vanessa. Was my fiancé. 28 years old. Beautiful. Charismatic. Everything I thought I wanted. We met 2 years ago. Coffee shop. She bumped into me. Spilled my coffee. Apologized profusely. Offered to buy me a new one. We talked for 3 hours. Connected immediately. Started dating that week. Everything moved fast. 6 months in, we moved in together. 1 year in, I proposed. 18 months engaged, wedding planned for June. Perfect relationship. Or so I thought. Vanessa told me early on about her ex-boyfriend. Aiden. High school sweethearts. Together 7 years. Broke up 3 years before we met. Why did you break up? I asked. 2 months into dating. Getting to know each other's history. She got quiet. Uncomfortable. It's complicated. He wasn't a good person. Complicated how? He was controlling. Manipulative. Toward the end, he became abusive. My protective instincts kicked in. Abusive how? Did he hurt you? Emotionally mostly. Some physical stuff. Nothing I want to talk about right now. I understand. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's why I'm cautious about relationships. Why I need to take things slow. Build trust. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. She cried. Told me I was different. Kind. Safe. Everything Aiden wasn't. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She seemed genuinely traumatized. Genuinely hurt by her past. Over the next 2 years, Aiden came up occasionally. Always in the context of abuse. Control. Trauma. Aiden used to control what I wore. Who I talked to. Where I went. Aiden would scream at me for hours. Make me feel worthless. Aiden pushed me once. During a fight. I fell. Hit my head. That's when I knew I had to leave. Each story made me hate this man I'd never met. Made me grateful Vanessa had escaped. Made me determined to be everything he wasn't. Supportive. Trusting. Kind. Never controlling. Never manipulative. Never abusive. I gave Vanessa space. Freedom. Trust. Everything she said Aiden had denied her. 6 months before our wedding, Vanessa mentioned Aiden had reached out. He texted me. After 3 years of no contact. Wants to apologize. For the abuse? He didn't say specifically. Just said he wants to talk. Clear the air. Make amends. Do you want to talk to him? No. I told him I'm engaged. Happy. That I've moved on and he should too. Good. You don't owe him anything. He kept texting. Saying he needs closure. That he's in therapy. Working on himself. Block him. You don't need that stress before the wedding. She did. Or said she did. I trusted her. 3 weeks before our wedding, I got a message. From an unknown number. Just a video file. No context. I almost didn't open it. Thought it was spam. Malware. Something dangerous. But curiosity got the better of me. I clicked. The video started. Poor quality. Clearly old. Maybe 7, 8 years ago based on the phones visible in frame. A bedroom. College dorm maybe. Messy. Posters on walls. Typical young guy's room. Then I saw her. Vanessa. Younger. Different hair. But definitely her. She was with multiple men. On a bed. All wearing soccer jerseys. Same team. My stomach dropped. This was private. Intimate. Something I shouldn't be seeing. I should have stopped watching. Deleted it. Respected her privacy. But something made me keep watching. The atmosphere. The dynamic. Something felt off. Vanessa wasn't distressed. Wasn't uncomfortable. Wasn't coerced or forced. She was laughing. Directing. Participating enthusiastically. Clearly consensual. Clearly planned. The men, 5 of them, were taking turns. She was engaging with each one. Smiling. Making jokes. Having fun. This wasn't abuse. This wasn't assault. This wasn't coercion. This was consensual group activity. With what appeared to be an entire soccer team. The video was 20 minutes long. I watched 5 minutes. Enough to understand what I was seeing. Enough to recognize one of the men. The one filming part of it. The one Vanessa kissed at the end. Aiden. Her abusive ex-boyfriend. I felt sick. Confused. Betrayed. But I didn't jump to conclusions. Maybe this was before the abuse. Maybe things changed later. Maybe this video didn't tell the whole story. I needed to talk to Vanessa. Get her perspective. Understand the context. I waited for her to come home. From work. Normal Tuesday evening. Hey babe, she said. Kissing me. Smiling. How was your day? We need to talk. Her face changed. About what? I got sent a video today. Of you. With multiple men. Including Aiden. She went pale. What video? I showed her my phone. The message. The file. Not the content. I couldn't bring myself to watch it again. Where did you get this? Someone sent it. Anonymously. I need to know what this is. It's private. From years ago. You shouldn't have that. I know. But I do. And I need you to explain. Because what I saw doesn't match what you've told me about Aiden. What I told you is true. Aiden was abusive. Vanessa, in this video, you're with him and his entire soccer team. Consensually. Happily. That doesn't look like abuse. You don't understand. Things were complicated. Then help me understand. Because right now, it looks like you lied about Aiden. About the abuse. About everything. She started crying. I didn't lie. Aiden was abusive. Just not then. That was before things got bad. Okay. So when did things get bad? Later. After that. After college. And what happened? What changed? She hesitated. He became controlling. Jealous. Couldn't handle that I'd been with his teammates. So this video, this was consensual? You participated willingly? Yes. But I was young. Stupid. I thought it was fun. Thought it made me cool. Made them like me. And Aiden? Was he controlling about this later? Is that when the abuse started? Yes. He couldn't get over it. Would bring it up constantly. Call me names. Make me feel dirty. That made sense. Sort of. Someone participating in group activity, then being shamed for it later. That could be emotional abuse. Did he ever hit you? You said he pushed you once. She looked away. It's complicated. Vanessa, please? I need the truth. All of it? Did Aiden physically abuse you? Long silence. Not exactly. What does not exactly mean? He grabbed my arm once. During a fight. Left a bruise. But it wasn't like beating me or anything. Okay. And the pushing? You said he pushed you and you hit your head. He pushed me away during an argument. I tripped. Hit my head on the table. It was an accident. An accident? Or abuse? Both? He shouldn't have pushed me. But he didn't mean for me to get hurt. I sat down. Processing. So let me get this straight. You participated in group activity with Aiden's soccer team. Consensually. Later, Aiden couldn't handle it. Would bring it up. Shame you. That's the emotional abuse? Yes. And the controlling behavior. Not letting me go out. Checking my phone. Was he controlling before the video? Or only after? After. He was fine before. But after that night, he couldn't trust me. Became paranoid. And the physical stuff? The grab? The push? Were those patterns? Or isolated incidents during arguments? Isolated. But they still count as abuse. I'm not saying they don't. I'm trying to understand the full picture. Because what you told me was 7 years of abuse. Control. Manipulation. Physical violence. It was 7 years of emotional abuse. Of being shamed for one mistake. Of not being trusted. That's still abuse. She was right. Constant shaming, controlling behavior, lack of trust, that is abusive. Even if it stemmed from Aiden's inability to handle what happened. But something still felt wrong. Off. Like I wasn't getting the complete truth. Who sent me this video? I don't know. Probably Aiden. Trying to ruin my life. Again. Why would Aiden send me this? What does he gain? Revenge. Humiliation. He's never gotten over me leaving. You said he reached out 6 months ago. Wanting to apologize. Make amends. That doesn't sound like someone planning revenge. Maybe the apology was fake. Maybe this was his plan all along. Maybe. But it didn't feel right. I did something I'm not proud of. I responded to the unknown number. Who is this? Why did you send me that video? 3 hours later, I got a response. I'm one of the guys in the video. Aiden asked me to send it. Said you deserve to know the truth before you marry her. What truth? That Vanessa lies. About everything. About Aiden. About what happened. About who she is. She said Aiden was abusive. Aiden was devastated. Not abusive. There's a difference. She said he was controlling. Manipulative. That he pushed her. Aiden was paranoid because Vanessa kept cheating. The push was him blocking a door during an argument. She pushed past him, tripped, blamed him. How do I know you're telling the truth? You don't. But ask yourself, if Aiden was so abusive, why did Vanessa keep going back? Why did they break up and get back together 4 times? Why did she cheat on him repeatedly? She never mentioned cheating. Or breaking up multiple times. Because it doesn't fit her victim narrative. Look, I don't know you. Don't care about your relationship. But Aiden's my friend. He's been in therapy for years dealing with the damage from that relationship. He's finally moving on. Thought you should know what you're getting into. Why didn't Aiden send this himself? Because he didn't want to. I did it. Without telling him. Because I'm tired of watching him blame himself for Vanessa's choices. The message ended there. No more responses. Number went dead. I sat with this information. Conflicted. Confused. Not knowing what to believe. On one hand, Vanessa could be telling the truth. Aiden could be an abuser who's rewritten history. Who's using friends to harass her. On the other hand, this could explain inconsistencies I'd ignored. Questions I'd never asked. I did what I should have done from the beginning. I investigated. Found Aiden on social media. Looked through his posts. His friends. His life. He seemed normal. Stable. In a long-term relationship. Working as a teacher. Coaching youth soccer. Not the profile of an abuser. But abusers can look normal. Can hide their true nature. I found mutual friends. People who knew both Vanessa and Aiden during their relationship. Sent careful messages. Hey, I'm engaged to Vanessa. Trying to understand her past. She mentioned her relationship with Aiden was difficult. Can you shed any light? 3 people responded. All said similar things. Vanessa and Aiden were toxic together. Both made mistakes. Not sure I'd call it abuse though. Aiden was obsessed with Vanessa. She'd cheat, he'd forgive her, cycle repeated. Unhealthy but not abusive. Vanessa had a way of making herself the victim. Aiden wasn't perfect, but he wasn't the monster she probably described. This wasn't definitive. People can be wrong. Can miss signs of abuse. Can blame victims. But combined with the video, with the inconsistencies in Vanessa's story, with the anonymous message, I had doubts. Serious doubts. I confronted Vanessa again. I need the complete truth. All of it. No minimizing. No victim framing. Just facts. I told you the truth. Did you cheat on Aiden? Besides the team thing? She hesitated. Define cheating. Vanessa? Okay. Yes. A few times. But only because he was so controlling. I needed freedom. When did the controlling behavior start? Before or after the teen incident? After. But it got worse after I cheated. So you participated in group activity with his team? He became paranoid. You cheated to get freedom. He became more controlling. You cheated more. He got more paranoid. Cycle continued? That's not fair. You're making me sound like the bad guy. I'm trying to understand the pattern. Because what you described as abuse sounds like a toxic relationship. Where both people made mistakes. Not one-sided abuse. It was abuse. Just because I wasn't perfect doesn't mean what he did was okay. She was right again. Even in toxic relationships, controlling behavior is wrong. Shaming is wrong. Making someone feel worthless is wrong. But it wasn't the story she told me. Not the 7 years of victimization. Not the physical violence. Not the one-sided narrative where she was innocent and he was a monster. Did you ever hit Aiden? What? No. Did you ever throw things? Break his stuff? Scream at him? During fights, sure. But that's normal. Did Aiden do those same things? Yes. But he's bigger. Stronger. It's different when he does it. I agree. Physical size matters. But if you both engaged in the same behaviors, yelling, throwing things, breaking stuff, is it fair to label only his behavior as abusive? He was the man. He had the power. That makes it different. This was going in circles. Every question led to justifications, minimizations, reframing. I realized I'd never get the full truth from Vanessa. Because she believed her own narrative. Convinced herself she was purely a victim. Couldn't acknowledge her role in the toxicity. I need time to think. About us. About the wedding. About everything. Think about what? You're believing some anonymous message over your fiancé? I'm questioning inconsistencies. Investigating before making a lifetime commitment. If you loved me, you'd believe me. Support me. Not interrogate me like I'm on trial. If you respected me, you'd tell me the complete truth. Not fragments that paint you as perfect and him as evil. She started crying. Packing a bag. I'm staying at my sister's. Until you decide if you trust me or not. She left. I sat alone with the video. The messages. The inconsistencies. And made my decision. I spent 3 days investigating. Reaching out to people who knew Vanessa and Aiden. Gathering information. Building a complete picture. What I found wasn't abuse. It was mutual toxicity. 2 young people in an unhealthy relationship making terrible choices. Aiden's friend from the video agreed to talk. On the phone. Anonymous. Look, I'm not saying Aiden was perfect. He was obsessed with Vanessa. Couldn't let her go even when he should have? What about the controlling behavior? Checking her phone? Not letting her go out? That started after she cheated the 3rd time. He was paranoid. Desperate to keep her from doing it again. That's still controlling. Absolutely. It was toxic. They should have broken up. But Vanessa would cheat, Aiden would find out, she'd cry and apologize, he'd forgive her, cycle repeated. How many times did she cheat? That I know of? 5. Maybe more. The soccer team thing was first year of college. Then random guys at parties. Then a coworker. Then someone from her gym. Then Aiden's roommate. She cheated with Aiden's roommate? Yeah. That's what finally ended it. Aiden walked in on them. Moved out immediately. Refused to talk to her. That was 3 years ago. She said he was abusive. That she had to leave him. She left him? Dude, he left her. Moved to a different city. Changed his number? Blocked her everywhere. She stalked him for months trying to get him back. Stalked him? Showed up at his new place. Called his job. Made fake social media accounts to message him. He got a restraining order. My blood ran cold. A restraining order? Yeah. Should be public record. Check the county courthouse. I did. Found it. Aiden Patterson v. Vanessa Morrison. Restraining order granted 3 years ago. Based on harassment, stalking, unwanted contact. Vanessa had told me Aiden was abusive. That she'd escaped. That she'd blocked him. The truth was Aiden had escaped her. Had blocked her. Had gotten legal protection from her. Everything was inverted. Flipped. The victim narrative was backwards. I called Vanessa. I found the restraining order. Silence. Long silence. What restraining order? The one Aiden got against you. 3 years ago. For stalking him after he left you for cheating with his roommate. More silence. That's not what happened. It's public record, Vanessa. Court documents don't lie. He lied to the court. Made me sound crazy. I just wanted closure. Closure by showing up at his apartment repeatedly? By calling his job? By making fake accounts? I needed to explain. To make him understand. He wouldn't listen. Because you cheated on him with his roommate. In his apartment. He had every right to cut you off. You don't understand. What Aiden and I had was complicated. It was toxic. You both made mistakes. But you weren't the victim you claimed to be. I was a victim. Of his paranoia. His controlling behavior. That started after you cheated. Multiple times. You created the environment that made him paranoid. So you're blaming me? For his abuse? I'm saying there was no abuse. There was a toxic relationship. Where you cheated repeatedly and he couldn't let go. Where you both hurt each other. That's not the same as abuse. I can't believe you're taking his side. I'm not taking sides. I'm accepting reality. You lied to me. About Aiden. About the relationship. About who left whom. About everything. I didn't lie. I told you my truth. Your truth isn't the truth. It's a narrative you created where you're blameless and he's a monster. Because that's what it felt like. To me. My experience was real. Your feelings were real. But your facts were false. There's a difference. She came back that night. Begging. Crying. Apologizing. I'm sorry. I should have told you everything. The cheating. The stalking. All of it? Yes. You should have. From the beginning. I was ashamed. Embarrassed. I didn't want you to think I was a bad person. So you made Aiden the bad person instead? Destroyed his reputation? Called him abusive? I thought he was abusive. To me. In my experience. Vanessa, you cheated on him 5 times. Stalked him after he left. Got a restraining order filed against you. How is he the abusive one? Because he made me feel worthless. Would bring up my mistakes constantly. Wouldn't let me forget. That's not abuse. That's consequences. You cheated repeatedly. He reminded you of that. That's cause and effect. It felt abusive. Feelings aren't facts. You felt guilty. Ashamed. Defensive. So you reframed the relationship as abusive to avoid accountability. That's not fair. What's not fair is telling everyone your ex was abusive when he was actually your victim. When he had to get a restraining order to escape you. He wasn't my victim. We were both victims. Of a toxic relationship. I can accept that. But that's not what you told me. You told me he was abusive. Controlling. Violent. That you escaped. That's not true. My experience was true. Your interpretation of your experience was convenient. Allowed you to avoid responsibility for your choices. She stood up. Angry now. Defensive. So what? You're calling off the wedding? Over something that happened years ago? Before we even met? I'm calling off the wedding because you lied. Because you destroyed someone's reputation. Because you can't take accountability. Because I can't trust you. You're being ridiculous. Everyone exaggerates their ex. Everyone makes themselves sound better. There's a difference between exaggeration and fabrication. You fabricated abuse claims? That's serious. I didn't fabricate anything. I felt abused. That's real. Feelings aren't enough to accuse someone of abuse. There have to be facts. Patterns. Evidence. You had none of that. I had the bruise from when he grabbed me. During an argument where you were trying to leave with his car keys. He grabbed your arm to get them back. That's not abuse. How do you know that? Because I talked to people who were there. Who saw it happen? Who confirmed your story is one-sided? She stared at me. Realizing I'd done my homework. Realizing she couldn't spin this anymore. I can't marry you, I said. Quiet. Definitive. Final. Because of Aiden? Because you believe him over me? Because you lied. Because you're not who I thought you were. Because I can't trust anything you say. Please. Don't do this. I love you. We're perfect together. We're not perfect. We're built on lies. Your lies. About your past. About Aiden. About who you are. I'll tell the truth. From now on. About everything. Just give me another chance. I can't. Because even now, you're minimizing. Justifying. Refusing to fully acknowledge what you did. What did I do that's so terrible? Have a past? Make mistakes? You falsely accused someone of abuse. You stalked them until they got a restraining order. Then you lied to me about all of it for 2 years. Fine. I'm a terrible person. Is that what you want to hear? I want to hear genuine accountability. Genuine remorse. Understanding of the harm you caused. Not just to Aiden. But to me. To us. She couldn't give me that. Because she didn't believe she'd done anything wrong. Still saw herself as the victim. Still blamed Aiden for their toxic relationship. I called off the wedding. 3 weeks before the date. Lost the deposits. $30,000. Didn't care. Better to lose money than marry someone I couldn't trust. Vanessa's family was furious. You humiliated our daughter. Embarrassed her. Destroyed her reputation. I called off a wedding. Because I discovered she'd lied to me for 2 years. About what? Some drama with an ex? Everyone has drama. She claimed he was abusive. He wasn't. She was the problem in that relationship. She lied about it to make herself look better. So what? That's ancient history. It has nothing to do with your relationship. It has everything to do with it. It shows her character. Her willingness to lie. To destroy someone's reputation. To avoid accountability. They threatened to sue. For wedding costs. For emotional distress. For defamation. You're telling people our daughter lied about abuse. That's slander. It's truth. I have the restraining order. The court records. Witnesses. I'm not slandering anyone. They didn't sue. Because they knew I was right. Knew Vanessa had lied. Knew they couldn't win. Vanessa's friends attacked me on social media. He's a victim blamer. Doesn't believe survivors. Believes abusive men over women. I didn't respond. Didn't defend myself. Just blocked them and moved on. But one of Aiden's friends did respond. Posted the restraining order publicly. Here's the truth about who is abusive in that relationship. The narrative flipped. People started questioning Vanessa's story. Investigating on their own. Finding the same inconsistencies I'd found. Vanessa deleted her social media. Moved to a different city. Started over somewhere new. Where she could tell her victim's story without people knowing the truth. 6 months after calling off the wedding, I ran into Aiden. Coffee shop. Coincidence. I heard you called off your wedding. Because of Vanessa's lies. Yeah. I'm sorry. For what she put you through. For believing her story. It's okay. Most people believed her. She's very convincing. How are you doing? Really? Good. Better. Therapy helped. My girlfriend helped. Time helped. I'm glad. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing leaving. Getting the restraining order. Protecting yourself. Thanks. I thought I was going crazy for a while. Thought maybe I was the abusive one like she said. Therapy helped me see it was mutual toxicity. We were both wrong. But I wasn't a monster. You're not a monster. You were a kid in a toxic relationship who got out. Good for you. We talked for an hour. About Vanessa. About toxic relationships. About moving on. Can I ask you something? Aiden said. Why did you believe her at first? Because she seemed genuine. Traumatized. Hurt. Why would I doubt her? Exactly. That's what she does. Makes herself the victim. Convinces people. Even when facts say otherwise. Do you think she believes it? Her own narrative? I think she's convinced herself. Can't face her own mistakes. So she rewrites history where she's blameless. That's sad. It is. I hope she gets help. Real help. Therapy that makes her face reality. For her sake. And for whoever she's with next. 1 year after calling off the wedding, I'm dating someone new. Sarah. Honest. Transparent. Takes accountability for her past. I made mistakes in my last relationship, she told me on our 3rd date. I was jealous. Insecure. Checked his phone without permission. It was wrong. I've worked on it in therapy. I appreciate your honesty. My ex wasn't perfect either. But I own my part. Both people contribute to a relationship's problems. That's what Vanessa could never do. Own her part. Acknowledge her mistakes. Share responsibility for what went wrong. I teach men's groups now. About red flags. About investigating claims. About trusting but verifying. My ex-fiancée told me her previous boyfriend was abusive, I tell them. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She seemed traumatized. Genuine. Hurt. 3 weeks before our wedding, I got sent a video. Of her with his entire soccer team. Consensually. Happily. I investigated. Found out she'd lied about everything. About the abuse. About who left whom. About why the relationship ended. The truth was she cheated repeatedly. Stalked him after he left. Got a restraining order filed against her. She wasn't the victim. She was the problem. I called off the wedding. Lost $30,000. Don't regret it. Because I learned a valuable lesson, believe women. But verify. Investigate. Look for evidence. Don't just accept narratives at face value. Sometimes people lie. Sometimes they rewrite history. Sometimes they convince themselves they're victims when they're not. It's not victim blaming to investigate. To ask questions. To verify facts. It's due diligence. Before making a lifetime commitment. Some people hate me for teaching this. Say I'm encouraging men not to believe women. To doubt survivors. But I'm not teaching doubt. I'm teaching verification. There's a difference. Believe. But verify. Trust. But investigate. Support. But question. Because sometimes, the victim narrative is real. And sometimes, it's a lie. And you need to know the difference before you commit your life to someone. If someone tells you their ex was abusive, believe them. But verify. My ex-fiancée told me her ex was abusive. Controlling. Violent. That she'd escaped. The truth was she'd cheated on him repeatedly. Stalked him after he left. He'd gotten a restraining order against her. She lied about being a victim to avoid accountability for her choices. I called off our wedding 3 weeks before the date. Lost $30,000. Don't regret it. Because marrying someone who lies about abuse would have cost me more than money. It would have cost me my integrity. Believe survivors. Support them. But verify their stories before committing your life to them. Because sometimes, the real victim is the one being accused.